Live from KSAT 12, the 6 o'clock news starts right now.
It is a key piece of evidence in a case that still has no answers. 3 months ago, investigators shared this video of two masked gunmen who fired 30 rounds into a home in northeast Bexar County on May 8th. A 4-year-old girl was killed. A getaway car was recovered, but so far no one has been arrested. Now the Bexar County Sheriff's Office is doubling the reward money for answers. And as our Katrina Weber shows us, the sheriff believes broken relationships could lead to a break in this case.
Their images have been seen all over, but their names remain a mystery for Bexar County Sheriff's investigators. They've been hoping the grainy surveillance pictures might lead them to the two men who sprayed a northeast Bexar County townhome with gunfire.
For over 3 months now, it's a case that we've continued to work on, and so we're extremely interested in getting more information. Sheriff
Javier Salazar says they're so interested that now they've raised the reward for the right tips to $10,000. 4-year-old Marianne Marble was killed by the bullets that tore through her windows and door on Windsor Hollow near Walsham Road in May. 2 other children and 2 adults were wounded.
To shoot up an entire family, murder a 4-year-old in such a brutal fashion that this family was shot up, anybody that's capable of doing that once is capable of doing it again.
You can still see some of the bullet holes from that shooting. The sheriff says the family will never be whole again after what happened. Their struggle with physical and emotional pain continues. The lack of arrests so far has been frustrating for investigators. Salazar says he hopes the money might convince someone in the know to speak up.
An ex-friend, an ex-girlfriend, ex-boyfriend, ex-husband, ex-wife, maybe at that point was not able to come forward for whatever reason.
Anyone with information is asked to call Crime Stoppers at 210-224-STOP or 224-7867. Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
When Katrina talked with the sheriff this morning about the Windsor Hollow shooting, she also asked about the Odyssey system. You might remember that's the computer software that the county criminal justice system switched over to a few months ago. It had an incredibly rocky rollout, slowing down everything from jail bookings and releases to court records. This morning, Sheriff Salazar said courts might still be having problems, but for the most part, his department has, quote, overcome those challenges. A longtime dream could become reality. Baseball in downtown San Antonio. Mayor Ron Nierenberg and County Judge Peter Sakai have each notified the major leagues that the city plans to move the Missions to a downtown stadium. And tonight is the first Missions home game since that announcement. That's why Steve Spriester is out at the Wolf this evening. Steve, city leaders are set to talk about the project tomorrow. You're there tonight, though, to see how people there feel about it.
Absolutely. We want to know what the fans have to say about it, Myra. We want to know about the vendors, the people that sell the beer, the peanuts, the Cracker Jacks. I mean, this stadium opened in April of 1994. A lot has changed in the 30 years since Wolf Stadium became the home of the Missions. Among it, Major League standards. Right now, Major League has minimum standards for the stadiums that their ball clubs use, including minor leagues ball clubs. And right now, Wolf Stadium does not meet those minimum standards. The big problem with Wolf Stadium, the clubhouses themselves, they're too small. And to rebuild the clubhouses here at Wolf Stadium, you'd basically have to build a whole new stadium anyway. That's why tomorrow, the mayor in front of City Council is expected to unveil plans for a new Missions ballpark downtown. Missions owners will be there. Part of Missions management will be there. And coming up a little bit later in the show, Myra, we're going to talk to the mayor himself about what's going to happen tomorrow, his dream for a downtown ballpark, and what happens to Wolf Stadium when the Missions aren't here anymore, and what it's going to take to build that new ballpark, what it could cost you and me. Those stories coming up a little bit later in this newscast. Live from Wolf Stadium, Steve Spriester, KSAT 12 News.
Nice little breeze going through the Wolf for Spriester, and of course he's in the shade, which is good. 99 degrees out there, but notice we do have a few isolated downpours that have popped up. One here in Lavaca County, just south, due south of Hallettsville. near 111 here, and this is one downpour that has a little bit of lightning and thunder associated with it. See those lightning strikes? So this one's going to sustain itself for a little bit longer than the previous showers that we saw. Probably another 30 to 60 minutes we may see out of that. And then check this out, just west of San Antonio. This is that 10% chance we were talking about today near Hondo. Just a few quick splash and dash downpours have popped up, not over Hondo, but in the vicinity of Hondo. That's all we have to talk about. Otherwise, rain-free. An update on Ernesto and where it's going in just a bit.
Okay, we'll see you in a few minutes. Thanks, Adam. Let's take a look at traffic out there right now. This is the camera at 281 at San Pedro, looking northbound off towards the Nakoma exit there. You can see traffic's pretty heavy headed north, but no major tie-ups or accidents to make you aware of. One man charged in 2 cases of violence against children. A case against Terrence Harper for allegedly injuring a child in 2018 reopened an older case from 2012. That led to charges against Harper for the murder of a child. Both cases have seen a lot of twists and turns, and now there could be a retrial. Erica Hernandez explains what led to Harper being back in court today.
It's a lot to follow because these cases have started so many years back, but here's some backstory to get you caught up.
In July 2018, Harper was arrested and accused of severely beating his infant son. During that investigation, a case from 2012 was reopened where Harper was a suspect in the death of an infant in his care. He was later indicted on both cases, injury to a child and capital murder. Because the district attorney, Joe Gonzalez, had previously represented Harper before he was DA, his office had to recuse themselves from the case. Special prosecutors Therese Hunsinger and Daniel de la Garza took up the cases for the state. Jumping to 2022. In late November, Terrence Harper went to trial on the injury to a child case, and a jury found him guilty, and by December of that year sentenced him to 99 years in prison.
So since conviction, Harper has hired a new attorney, John Hunter. You may remember that name. He was a defense attorney last year in the Andre McDonald case and the Mark Howerton case.
In early 2023, Harper appealed his trial. In late July of this year, the 8th Court of Appeals ruled that Harper's conviction be overturned and cited mistakes made in trial, which means a retrial would have to take place. Where are we at now? Hunsinger and De La Garza want off as special prosecutors, but the defense has a problem with that.
We're objecting to the continuation of this particular flavor of prosecutor pro tem generally by any of these private counsel. Because we are now in 2024. Mr. Harper has not been convicted of anything. He is awaiting 2 different jury trials, which are still in the future.
The judge today ultimately decided that the 2 special prosecutors must stay on the case.
So what happens next in this case? Well, the state is going to appeal that 8th court decision. But if that is done unsuccessfully, then that retrial could happen as early as the beginning of next year. Now, these are 2 cases we will continue to follow. Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
Another San Antonio City Council member has announced that she is running for mayor. District 4 Councilwoman Adriana Rocha Garcia announced her campaign in an interview with KSAT 12 this afternoon. The 3rd-term councilwoman believes there are some tough years ahead for the city, and she says she wants to help. She's the 4th candidate to enter the race overall and the 3rd council member. The election is still 9 months away, but Rocha Garcia said there had been plenty of speculation on what she would do.
People kept saying, oh, well, I don't think she's running. No, well, maybe she is. And so I thought that if I just let people know now, that they would know exactly what my intentions are and there was no confusion about it.
You can watch our full interview with Rocha Garcia on our website and hear what she has to say about the power of the mayor's office, plus a controversial zoning fight around the Toyota plant and her vision for the city as a whole. It's right now on KSAT.com. A daycare south of San Antonio cited by state investigators after a 4-year-old was pulled from his classroom and forced to stand on his tiptoes as punishment. His parents recorded the boy's account of what took place.
Oh, they make you put your feet like that? Yeah. They tell you to put your feet like that? Oh my goodness, that is not good, buddy.
The child, according to a June investigation by Texas Health and Human Services, had been removed from his classroom for a timeout and asked by an employee to stand still on a piece of tape on the floor. The punishment lasted anywhere from 4 to 30 minutes.
like this.
And they make you stand like that?
Yeah.
Do they make you stand like that for a long time?
And I might cry.
You entrust your kids into a daycare to take care of these child and know that they're going to do the proper type of discipline. And for them to fail at doing that is that's the saddening part.
Right now, you can scan this QR code you see here to read KSAT Investigates' full investigation into the Tummy Squad punishment. You can also find that story on KSAT.com. High school can be a stressful time for a lot of students, but students living with type 1 diabetes have an added layer of routine to worry about when they go back to school. We got to tag along with a San Antonio teenager who took us through her school day with type 1 diabetes. Coming up. But first, let's take a look outside with live cam. Plenty of heat out there. Will we see a break anytime soon? Adam Caskey's got your forecast coming up next. Happening later this week, Doc Talk, and this week it is all about kids. Scan this QR code to send us any medical questions you have related to kids care. We'll take those questions to a local pediatrician who will join us for Doc Talk Thursday right here at 6:30. A warning before we show you this next video. It's disturbing. Coming up tonight on the Night Beat at 10, San Antonio police are looking for the people who were caught on camera shooting and killing a dog that wasn't bothering anyone. We're freezing that video before the shot was fired, though. San Antonio police also say this might not be the only act of animal cruelty the people in this SUV have committed. Coming up tonight at 10, we'll tell you what we know about this shooting so you can help officers identify whoever is inside that car. It is back to school week for a lot of students. The Catholic schools of San Antonio, Floresville, Fort Sam Houston, Judson, and Randolph Field ISDs will welcome students and teachers back bright and early tomorrow morning. Now, schedules are packed. Life is busy for high schoolers, especially when they head back to school. But there is an extra layer of routine for students with type 1 diabetes. Courtney Friedman tagged along with a Steele High School sophomore who walked us through what it takes for her to head to class.
I think school is it's just so fun. It's a family, it's a community.
Energetic Steele High School sophomore Lexi Banks fills her life with activities that bring her joy. She's on varsity dance this year, and last year she was class president. But underlying all of those activities, a constant battle for her health. At 6 years old, she was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, an autoimmune disease where the pancreas doesn't make insulin. It's different than type 2 diabetes. Type 1, often diagnosed in children and has no cure. But newer technology has changed the game.
This is my tandem pump.
Okay.
It controls my insulin intakes. It also connects to my Dexcom G7.
Those devices track her blood sugar and make it so much easier to make it through school days.
It's just a lot of planning. It's a lot of planning, but once you have it, it's like golden and it's like a flat line.
To keep that flat line, she's got some supplies.
Big old thing of sugar. Very important.
Jolly Ranchers, good choice.
Jolly Ranchers. We've got my insulin, so if I need to change my pump throughout the day.
This is just for your pump.
That is just for my pump, right.
At the start of every school year, she packs that up and hands it to the nurse who knows her by now.
Welcome back.
Who she didn't know yet is school assistant principal Michael Gonzalez. We bumped into him during our shoot, and you'd never believe what happened.
And the CGM. I started when there was nothing where I had to go prick my finger.
He also has type 1 diabetes. Just one more reason Banks feels so comfortable at school.
I'm pretty good with advocating for myself.
Good.
So
I'm glad you hold on to that voice.
She uses that voice at the start of every class to let her teacher know about her health.
You need to be able to tell people, hey, I don't feel good. I need to sit out. Hey, I'm low, I'm high. I really shouldn't be taking this test.
That includes her dance team and coaches.
I have to put my pump in activity mode, and then I have to, throughout my workout process, I have to just take like a little squirt of apple juice.
She wants other kids with diabetes to know it's possible to have a full life.
It makes you cooler.
Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
It makes you cooler. I love that. Banks has a huge diabetes community and organization Breakthrough T1D. It encourages other patients to reach out. The organization also led Courtney Freeman to a teacher with type 1 diabetes. Coming up tomorrow on Good Morning San Antonio, see the extra links that she goes to each day to be there for her students. Well, the month of August is living up to its reputation for being brutally hot. Schools are trying to keep kids cool in the classroom, but they want their buses to be cool too. Transportation directors for Northeast ISD and SAISD tell us their entire bus fleet has air conditioning for its drivers and students. In Northside ISD, the district just finished retrofitting 75 of its older buses ahead of the start of their new school year. That starts on Monday for them. It's a simple thing, but the district thinks cooler air can impact the overall school day.
It can make a big difference for the driver and absolutely for the student. And we also hope that it will be able to help with some of the behaviors that we have seen on the buses.
Soleil says the district was able to use bond money to complete this project. She says those 75 older buses that are now equipped with AC have been equally spread out through Northside ISD's bus routes. Of course, cooler air can make all the difference. It
Yes.
makes a huge difference for everybody, Adam.
Absolutely. And in some cases, those buses are pretty packed too. So if you don't have something to offset that body temp, all those people, it can be pretty miserable and sweaty. And as they get older, stinky. Let's be honest.
There's only so much Axe body spray can do.
Facts right here. We're just dropping facts. Okay, let's get to Authority Radar. Little bit of activity. This is that 10% chance we were talking about. South of Hallettsville, actually some lightning and thunder. So those of you in Hallettsville, talking to you, my buddy Marty, looking southward, you'll see the lightning off in the distance and the rain shaft, and a little bit northeastern Gonzales County, and what we had in Medina County has really since fizzled out. But you look at the rainfall accumulations today, and everywhere we have the blue and green on the map, we had a few showers, and most of it was close to the Gulf Coast where we had the best lift to lift the air to get the showers going. Conversely, upper level highs push down and they sink the air. And that's one reason why we're going to be high and dry going forward. You look at the generalized rainfall potential, and across Texas, it's pretty much blank for the most part. We're always going to have these coastal showers from time to time, but nothing locally, nothing significant. And you look at the overall pattern, and the rain is really deflected up and around our area because of the upper level high, the big blue H. Now, on the edges of it, when you're not directly underneath it, you can still get thunderstorms. And even look at this ridge rider right here. That's a good ridge rider. This thunderstorm complex from overnight and early this morning, moving through Kansas into Missouri as well. That's something we could use around here. But all we have today working for us is this teeny little swirl, hard to even see, but you'll watch it from the beginning of this move across deep South Texas, and that upper level disturbance. You know, it's what we were talking about yesterday in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico, generating some showers and storms, and it helped us a little bit with those coastal showers, but that's it. High temperatures going forward because of the dry high, the heat high overhead to just above 100. Another even 100 tomorrow, up to 102 by this weekend and early next week. Here's the latest from the Hurricane Center regarding Tropical Storm Ernesto. It is strengthening. It's likely to continue to strengthen and become a hurricane soon, within the next update or two from the Hurricane Center. Turning northward away from Puerto Rico and Dominican Republic toward Bermuda by this upcoming weekend, likely as a Category 2 hurricane, which would mean winds of 96 to 110 miles per hour. Spaghetti plots in pretty good agreement. You look at those computer models, pretty tightly packed here, away from the U.S. and no threat to the U.S. The overall steering flow for this is because of some highs that we have out here. The big blue H is going to keep it away from the Gulf of Mexico for us. And another high way out into the eastern Atlantic will help steer it into the westerlies, which will then pick it up and carry it away off into the North Atlantic. Coming up at 6:45, we'll get into some of the wave heights that are forecasted with that hurricane. Feeling like 105 tomorrow when you factor in the humidity, and then it's just copy, paste, rinse, repeat, Myra.
Not so much rinse. Heat and repeat. How about that?
Heat and repeat. There we go. Heat and repeat.
All right, Larry joins us now in the studio. And Larry, the Texans are back in the heat with the rest of us.
Yeah, they are. So they stayed last week, I don't know, 7 days or so, right up in the Northeast Ohio area where the temperature is a little cooler. Well, D'Amico Ryans wants his guys to practice down here in Houston in the heat and humidity. Plus the Dallas Cowboys, no shocker here, the world's most valuable sports franchise. And you know Jerry Jones is smiling about that one. Coming up.
This is the time we'll be working throughout the season, so I want our guys to understand what it'll feel like, especially, that first half of the season.
D'Amico Ryans wants his Texans practicing in the heat and humidity of Houston in big board sports. After spending last week in Northeast Ohio to practice, the Houston Texans are back home in Space City to continue training camp. After playing in the Hall of Fame game in Canton, Ohio, the Texans stayed in the Buckeye State to prepare for the road game at the Pittsburgh Steelers. And now the Texans are back in Houston practicing, and that's Coach Ryans approved.
Training camp day for us with the heat and external elements. As we all know, it's pretty hot and humid here in Houston. It's what we have to deal with, nothing we complain about, just something we got to go to work, right? And so I tell our guys, no matter what it is, for me, it's about adversity. And when it hits you, like, how do you respond? And so a lot of guys, some guys responded well today, some didn't. So it's a lot for us to learn from and build off of.
Houston will host the New York Giants this Saturday at noon. Dallas Cowboys veteran offensive lineman Chuma Edoga is going to be sidelined for at least a month, maybe longer, after suffering a toe injury Sunday versus the LA Rams. That means rookie Tyler Guyton will likely be the guy at left tackle. Edoga played one series before he got hurt. Guyton took his spot on the Cowboys' second series, but after missing a week of practice with an illness, the boys watched his reps. Coach McCarthy says the rookie did a fine job in LA.
Well, number one, Tyler thought he played well. He's definitely very comfortable. You can see his natural skill as far as hands and his feet. His athletic ability stands out. Just needs reps. And the fundamentals, the techniques, and obviously really the time that he missed is probably really the only setback. So I think clearly with the available opportunities in front of him, this will be something I know he'll take full advantage of.
The Sportico annual team valuations are out, and they say the Dallas Cowboys are the most valuable sports franchise at $10.32 billion, the first club worth $10 billion. The Golden State Warriors, New York Yankees, LA Rams, and New York Giants round out the top five. And here's a list of some other Lone Star State franchises ranking anywhere from 17 to 113. The San Antonio Spurs are number 56 at $3.29 billion. It was another bright and hot day at Incarnate Word for this morning's football practice. The Cardinals are now 18 days away from the season opener when they host Northern Colorado. They're looking strong in the trenches, but the biggest decision head coach Clint Killa will have to make is who he wants as a starting quarterback. Zach Calzada and Richard Torres are two QBs at the top of the list. So, Coach, how's the quarterback battle going?
Going really good. We got two really good quarterbacks. I'm confident in both those guys in their ability to win us football games and to win us a championship. And, I had conversations with both those guys going into it. I'm confident in both those guys. They're both tremendous leaders. They're both tremendous players. And I think our team believes in both of them.
I feel like as a team, we trust all those guys to go in there and get the job done. Every single one of those guys are great quarterbacks. They can throw, run, do all the things that you want your quarterback to do.
Coach Killo told us that he plans on choosing a starting quarterback after their next scrimmage.
Lots of decisions to be made in the next couple of weeks, I imagine.
Yep.
All right, thanks, Larry.
You got it.
We're not done talking sports, though. We are talking about the plans for a Major League Baseball stadium in downtown San Antonio. Steve Spriester is still out at Wolf Stadium to talk about it all with Mayor Ron Nierenberg next.
Welcome back to the old ballpark. We are here live at Wolf Stadium, and it's the opening of a Missions homestand. Part of the reason that we're here, we want to talk to fans about what they think about the prospects of the Missions moving downtown, getting a new ballpark. Joining us on the KSAT Q&A, as he does most Tuesdays, is San Antonio Mayor Ron Nierenberg. And I know, Mr. Mayor, you're going to unveil a plan for a new downtown ballpark tomorrow. Talk about how this came to be and why really it has to be if the Missions are to stay in San Antonio.
Sure. Well, looks good out there, Steve. Enjoy the game. So this all came to be over the last several years. Major League Baseball has done a significant reorganization of the minor league structure. And so how it works now is that each of the major league affiliates has 2 minor league affiliates. We are one of the affiliates for San Diego. Of course, those change over time. But they also increase the standards in which the facilities for minor league teams, in order to have a team, are to be considered. So the Missions team was bought by a group of local owners, some of them people that are very familiar to the San Antonio community, people like David Robinson and Manu Ginobili, among others. So we have local ownership now for the first time of our San Antonio Missions, which are the oldest professional sports franchise in San Antonio. We were notified, or the team was notified a couple of years ago about the fact that they need to significantly upgrade Wolf Stadium or build a new ballpark in order to stay in San Antonio. And so we did analysis, due diligence on both of those options, or the team did, and shared with us a proposal about a year ago to move to a parcel of property, potentially in the downtown area. Over the last year, we've been having conversations with them, about what they're thinking, where they want to go, and they've identified some property in the northwest corner of downtown. Of course, if we're going to see a new major sporting venue built in this city, I think as close to the center of the city, accessible from all corners of the city as possible, is the prudent thing to do. So we've been working with them on what those options look like, how we can best be situated to facilitate success on our end, on the community's end. Our entire community's invested in some way, shape, or form into the future of Missions. That includes conversations with the county as well. And tomorrow we're going to have a public briefing with the city council of what that potential deal could look like.
Your hope, I'm guessing, is that this is more than just a downtown ballpark, though. I mean, we're talking about, as you said, the northwest corner of downtown, kind of by Fox Tech is how I've been describing it. Do you see this as maybe a revitalization for that part of downtown?
Well, so I've never been one of those that believes that you put a ballpark somewhere and all of a sudden economic development happens. That's not the way it works. There's plenty of history to show that. But ballparks are good activators for a community, and they're great public amenities if they're done properly. It's not that the ballpark will drive economic development. It's the fact that it adds to economic development that's already taking place. Now, that's why it's important that the deal, whatever it looks like, is a prudent one, that we protect San Antonio taxpayers, that the private interest, that in this case the team and the ownership itself is putting their resources into this, because again, it's a private business, and that we're protecting the city and the county, the public from any kind of risk. So what I will tell you, and we'll share in more detail tomorrow, is that the deal that we have been presented with, that the city council and the county will eventually consider, is one that does all those things. We mitigate the risk. The team ownership group has put their resources into it at a level that we really don't ever see with sports franchises. The funding to build this stadium is going to be generated from taxes that only that development around that area that's being built by those private investors is generating. So, the idea that we're putting a bunch of public money into a ballpark is not true. This is about the tax increment that's being created by the investment that's being put in by those private owners and developers. So I think in all respects, this is a good deal. It's a prudent one. It protects taxpayers. It protects the city. And at the end of the day, we're going to get a great new ballpark for the San Antonio Missions that will be a great public amenity, a gathering space for the entire city.
All right, I want to make sure I understand you correctly in what you just said. So for the average San Antonio taxpayer, they will not see any increase in any of their property tax or sales tax or any hotel motel tax, any of that going forward with this new stadium.
That's correct. And, there'll be a lot of cynicism about that because we've seen deals, sports deals and lots of big promises made all across the country. But I will tell you again, the financing for this ballpark is being generated specifically by a zone inside this development. So this development that is being funded, the phases of the development that are being paid for by those private developers are going to be generating the taxes that are being used to pay for this stadium. So again, it's all self-contained. It protects taxpayers, it protects the city from risk, and it's being generated by the investment made by the team owners and their development group. So all told, we're going to end up with a fantastic new amenity downtown, a brand new ballpark for the San Antonio Missions, and continued excitement for years to come while protecting our community from financial risk.
I want to ask you about some of the specifics that have been released. I mean, they're talking about roughly 4,500, I think, fixed seats, and then an occupancy capacity of somewhere around 8,000. Is that something that you and the ball club came to? Is it something that can be expanded from there? I mean, is there looks toward, AAA or Major League Baseball expanding or any of that's kind of built into the stadium plan?
Those are questions I would defer to the team ownership group and the designers of the stadium. Again, it would have to be designed first. But I'll tell you, similar to what the scenes are that we're watching on the screen now of Mission Stadium, there are fixed seats, stands, and then there are open areas, berms, where additional fans can gather. So it's a very versatile venue at the end of the day that can be used for a number of different events. There's also going to be considerations for the public in terms of use for public events, that sort of thing. There'll be public spaces generated by this development. So it's going to be it's going to be a new versatile venue for downtown that will feature the best quality baseball that you see in the minor leagues. We had that debate several years ago about AA versus AAA. Oftentimes what you see is the play at the AA level exceeds that of the AAA level because you have those players playing on a regular basis, whereas AAA is often where players come to rehab, and that's their last stint, very short stints. So it's going to be great quality baseball. It's going to continue the tradition of the San Antonio Missions. And again, it's a deal I think that is innovative in a way that makes sure that the team ownership group has a level of skin in the game that we've really never seen before, as well as protecting San Antonio taxpayers from bearing the burden of this park.
And obviously, I know that a lot of this is going to come to in more detail tomorrow about their burden and things like that. I actually talked to Reed Ryan, one of the owners out here. I know a lot of this is going to be selling it to the city council and selling it to the public. Do you plan on leaning on people like David Robinson and Manu Ginobili and Reed Ryan and people like that to get to San Antonio people to behind this idea?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's going to require any leaning. I think people just need to know what's going on because, again, the folks that are involved are known to the San Antonio community. They are upstanding members of our community that have done a lot around this city in many different respects. And in David and Manu's case, of course, we've seen them on the court. But this is a deal that I think when people learn about it, what is actually in it, they're going to feel real good about. So I don't think it's going to require any leaning on. Just people who are interested in the details of it will make sure that all the details are available. And that process, again, will start tomorrow. Yeah.
Mayor Ron Nirenberg, appreciate your time. By the way, I did invite the mayor out here for some peanuts and Cracker Jacks, but I guess that the city budget and the charter amendments and things like that took precedence. So I understand. Another time, Mr. Mayor.
We'll do it, Steve. I appreciate it. Late nights here as we assemble the budget, though.
All right. I appreciate your time, Mr. Mayor, and of course, we'll hear more from you tomorrow. We'll be right back after this break.
Look outside with live cam this evening. If you are out and about, I hope you can find some of those clouds. Get under some shade. You need it, Adam.
Yeah, and maybe a weird twirly rainbow out there. Yeah, that's what was submitted here to KSAT Connect, and I love it. It's a good way to describe it, weird twirly rainbow. What this really is cloud iridescence. You see a little bit of a rainbow pattern on the cloud. That's because of the similarly sized cloud droplets associated with this cloud that then bends the sunlight as it passes through. So sometimes you see that little rainbow effect on the clouds. We have a lot to talk about with Ernesto and its forecasted wave heights in a bit. Oh, we keep tallying them up. 17 triple-digit days now so far this year, but that's nothing. Let's think back to this time last year. We had 48. This time 2 years ago, our count was at 58. Exactly 100 here in San Antonio today. That's 3 degrees above average and 5 degrees shy of the record. Del Rio topped out at 106. Eagle Pass and Carrizo Springs 104. Cotulla made it up to 106. Big Blue H, upper level high. Overhead, keeping us dry, did help. We did see a few showers pop up closer to the Gulf Coast, and what we had on authority radar has already fizzled out, so that's gone. But on the edge of that ridge, we have a little bit of a ridge rider here from earlier this morning in that thunderstorm complex. Unfortunately, we don't have anything quite that strong on the bottom side of that high, and we're just going to have the dry conditions. We do have Tropical Storm Ernesto to talk about, likely to become a hurricane soon, especially as it starts to move away from the islands there in the Caribbean and push northward. Category 1 to then Category 2 hurricane later this week as it heads toward Bermuda. By Saturday, somewhere over or near Bermuda, likely Category 2 hurricane, winds of about 105 to 110 miles per hour. You look at the computer models and the spaghetti plots, they're very, very tightly packed here and have been very consistent right here, turning northward and staying away from the U.S. and really anywhere outside of some of the Caribbean islands, basically Puerto Rico and Bermuda. That's the main impact. The steering flow. Basically, it's wedged between two big upper level highs, and the main one that's helping steer it around with its clockwise flow is the one in the eastern Atlantic, and then once it gets farther north, the higher latitudes, it gets swept away in that westerly flow and then weakens in the colder waters of the North Atlantic. Going forward, you look at the forecasted wave heights out there. This is in the middle of the ocean, keep in mind, but will have an impact on shipping. 30-foot waves possible. This computer model actually indicating the potential for up to 30 to 35-foot waves as this gets cranking and gets stronger out there in the Atlantic. Humid tomorrow morning at 79, 93 and sunny at noon, 100 the high temperature, feeling like it's 105, but up to 104 again in Carrizo Springs, 99 in Gonzales, New Braunfels, exactly at triple digits. I wish I had some percentages on there, but unfortunately, I don't. Hey, we have a lot of science coming up in the buzz. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, Caskey's buzzing with me. Up next. In the buzz today, check out an amazing look at an aurora captured by an astronaut on board the International Space Station. So this was captured by astronaut Matthew Dominic. He says he saw this trippy time lapse while playing around with a new camera lens that he brought onto the ISS.
Yeah, just, you're playing around with the camera and you get that view of the aurora.
Sure.
And you can actually see a Russian spacecraft in the foreground bathed in the light show's glow. Recent coronal mass ejections, CMEs as we call them, of charged particles, plasma, billions of pounds of plasma from the sun have resulted in an uptick in auroral activity. Clearly makes for some mighty fine views up there, and the strongest coronal mass ejections and geomagnetic storms can bring us the aurora like we saw in May, especially in parts of the hill country.
So when you say we refer to them as CMEs, it's not me and you. I'm not part of that. That's him.
I mean, we could.
And his smart friends.
You do now.
All right, so some kayakers had a run-in with what they believe was a great white shark. They were paddling in California's Half Moon Bay when they realized they were being followed.
Luckily, it was a lot more curious than it was aggressive. And when they posted their video to the Instagram, they used the famous line from Jaws. Say it with me. We're going to need a bigger boat.
What's the deal with sharks right now?
I know they're making headlines, and it seems like there's been an uptick in activity. I don't know if they're scientifically valid, but
yeah,
we need sharks, though. They're good. They're good for the ocean ecosystem.
As long as they stay out there. We'll be right back.
It's not where we're swimming. So, Myra, we were talking earlier about the coronal mass ejections, which is basically, magnetized plasma, ionized. They can travel at 60,000 miles per hour through the
Those CMEs.
Yeah, through space.
Those CMEs